Stuck up in the Stone Age, gotta find a way to get back to the.
Yo, what's up guys? This is Peppa233 and today we'll be talking about weapon scaling and how to calculate the amount of stat points using the damage given. Also, keep in mind that this video is made during version 6.5. Calculations might be off in future updates depending on how foe feels.
Before we begin, before we get too much in, I like to give some information about GPO stats, just in case for those who doesn't know. So for GPO stat points, you'll have to plug in the amount of stat points in order for your stats to grow. For example, health, stamina, sword damage, fruit damage, etc. So for sword damage, I organized 3 top used swords and how to calculate the amount of points you need for the damage you want to do. So sitting with us right here is a spreadsheet that I created for Kiribati as an example that has 4 columns. So how does this exactly work? Is that for point 0, you have 0 stat points, you do 10 damage. 22 stat points, your damage increases. And if you have 44, increases again. All the way until 682, where your damage is capped at 41. It's kind of self-explanatory here, but then as we realize the increase is going, pretty steady. You always have to increase by 22 each time. So 22, 22, 22, 22, if you want to do 1 more damage. And then the last column is index. And this is kind of interesting here. And this is one of the main ways we could calculate the number of points. The amount of damage minus 10 is always index. What do I mean by this? I'll show you guys right here. We have our index, our damage, and increase. So, how does our damage relate to our index? Our damage minus 10 will always equal to our index. For example, we want to do 15 damage. We minus that by 10, the index is 5. And then now we have this index. What can we do in order to calculate the amount of points or stats you need? So we simply multiply index by our increase, which is 22, meaning that we have to plug in 22 points each time for damage to increase by 1. So if we multiply these, and then that will give us the amount of points. For example, we want to do, let's say, 13 damage. And then we subtract 13 by 10, then gives our index, which is 3. Now we multiply 3 by our number of increases, it will grant us 66. So that means we will need at the bare minimum of 66 points to do 13 damage. And I'll show you guys and verify this in game. As now we are in game, we want to verify if that formula is true. We simply just take into damage you like to do. So let's say that we like to do 34 damage. The stats you need is 528. So 528. Oh, this is gonna be a struggle, but stop. 34 damage, and then as the process is that we basically take the 34, and then we'll subtract that by 10, and then we go back to our spreadsheet right here. 34, 528. If we take 34, subtract by 10, which is 24. If we take 24, and we multiplied 24 by 22, that will be 528 right here.